Would you believe heavenly signs, foreshadow prophecy? Hello, I'm William Thompson, and welcome to this ministry revealing world events and their impacts as signs of the last days, prophecies in the Holy Scriptures. Recently, we've had a blitz of events in the heavens, and now we will have another rare event not seen in many, many years. There will be a rare lunar trifecta with a super blue blood moon eclipse on January 31st. This is indeed a rare event in the heavens, something that hasn't happened for 150 years. It's called a supermoon because it will turn full at the closest point to Earth in its orbit, appearing bigger and brighter than normal. It's called a blue moon because it's the second full moon occurring within the same month. The moon won't actually turn the color blue. The relative infrequency of two moons occurring in the same month is behind the saying once in a blue moon. And it's a blood moon because it will pass through the Earth's shadow, resulting in a total lunar eclipse in many areas, and it will turn a red copper or bloody hue. The last time we had an eclipse on the second full moon of a calendar month in the Americas was in March 1866, about 150 years ago. This is a rare heavenly event, but only one in a recent blitz of significant heavenly signs. Could such events be signs, having a meaning for humankind in these last days at the end of the age? A prophecy of Jesus Christ in referring to these last days says this in Luke 21 and 25, "And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity." Here Jesus was specifically tying in signs in the sun, moon, and stars with events in humankind that would cause distress and perplexity in the nations of the world in the last days. This showing how celestial events should be considered heavenly signs, warning of events coming in the civilization of humankind and that they should turn to God. History shows how celestial events were heavenly signs integrated with events in the civilizations of mankind. In 763 BC, the Assyrian Empire, which occupied what is now Iraq, the sun was completely eclipsed for 5 minutes. Early records from the period mention the eclipse in the same passage as an insurrection in a city of the empire, suggesting that the ancient people linked the two in their minds. Then when King Henry of England, the son of William the Conqueror, died in AD 1133, the event coincided with a total solar eclipse that lasted 4 minutes and 38 seconds. In the manuscript Historia Novella, William of Malmesbury recounts that the hideous darkness agitated the hearts of men, and a struggle for the throne through the kingdom into chaos and civil war. In the year that America declared its independence in 1776, there was a total solar eclipse that occurred over what would be the United States, marking America going into a revolutionary war. And the prior total solar eclipse was visible across the United States a century ago during the 1918 eclipse. And this was a time of trouble with the First World War, and also when a global pandemic called Spanish flu swept across the world, killing millions. The Holy Scriptures also show how celestial events were heavenly signs in the events of humankind. When the people of Israel were slaves in Egypt, a prophet named Moses showed up saying God was about to deliver them from Pharaoh's oppression. One sign that God chose was that the sun would be obscured, wrapping Egypt in darkness, showing that the Exodus was soon to happen. Also showing the Egyptians that their sun God was not the one true God, and that they should listen to the Lord God of Moses. And it was a celestial event known as the Star of Bethlehem that was a sign of the birth of Jesus Christ, the Messiah of God, that led the scriptural savvy magi, or wise men, to Jesus for worship. Then the Christian Gospels describe how the sky was darkened at the crucifixion of Jesus, viewing it as a sign of the significance of his death. Later historians used astronomy to pinpoint the death of Christ based on this eclipse mention, with them tying the crucifixion to a total solar eclipse. And now, in our time, we have recently been having a blitz of significant events in the heavens. Only 5 months ago, America experienced a celestial event of a total solar eclipse in a way that it had not happened since the 1776 revolution, where we had a rare America-only total solar eclipse going across the land, turning day into darkness. Then only 4 months ago, there was another rare celestial event many did not notice, called a new moon occultation. And occultation is when the moon passes in front of something besides the sun. And in this case, the moon passed in front of the earth and came into alignment between the earth and not just one, but 6 other celestial bodies. And it's very unusual for so many celestial bodies to be involved this way, where this lunar event came into alignment with 3 planets, then one of the sky's brightest stars, and additionally 2 asteroids in the event, according to the U.S. Naval Observatory. Additionally, during the same time frame, NASA scientists observed strange sun-solar behavior, resulting in the sun blasting out an unusual 7 massive solar flares in 7 days in an extraordinary period of space weather that sparked stunning geomagnetic storms above the Earth. And now, another rare sign this week with the super blue blood moon eclipse. The heavens were not created by man, but by the divine, where events there happen in his design and plan. Even now, major prophetic events are afoot in the affairs of the world that lead to major last days prophecy fulfillment. Recently, a rare president of the United States was elected, with this being said about him by both political parties, who has been turning the globalist status quo on its head with statements and actions that all say have never been seen before in presidential history. And one of the amazing actions this rare president took was to declare that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel. His presidential decree unleashed a storm of fury in the Arab world, effectively turning them away from the U.S. as a future broker of Middle East peace talks, and turning them to the European Union, who, as the prophesied revived Roman Empire, will fulfill the Daniel prophecies. For that Jerusalem declaration has effectively opened up now a prophetic pathway to realize fulfillment of the last day prophecies. Could it be that this blitz of heavenly signs are pointing to where a Middle East peace agreement will soon be realized through the revived Roman Empire of Europe, resulting in the last days Jewish temple at Jerusalem, for the coming Antichrist to there commit the abomination of desolation? And all the while, the prophesied constituents of the army of the Gog of Magog prophecy in Ezekiel 38 are gathering now near the northern border of Israel. All of this happening during a time frame when we are having a blitz of heavenly signs. Does this mean there is the potential for a coming blitz of prophetic events to happen in the world? As always, they will come together quickly and happen suddenly. So now is the time to prepare and make certain one is ready for the coming of Jesus Christ and the rapture of his born-again church, which the prophetic scriptures also say will happen suddenly. Then after that, in the great tribulation of earth, the celestial bodies of heaven just don't provide signs up in the sky, but the prophecy says they will also fall to the earth as a fig tree drops its late figs when it's shaken by a mighty wind. If you're interested in the rapture, go now to our website, signsofTheLastDays.org, and watch the video, Next Steps to the Rapture. Thank you, and God bless.